Hi folks, it's Sarah here, and it's the end of week 11. And look, sorry I didn't check in last week. I was actually up in Sydney, and it was an absolutely awful weekend weather-wise. I mean, it just poured non-stop. So I kind of wish I had been down in Melbourne because it was beautiful. So that's why I'm outside here today, just taking advantage of this beautiful weather. We just don't know how much longer it's going to last. So I thought I'd just come to the park and have a bit of a lie down in the sun and just enjoy being outside while it's warm. Anyway, so how are things going? So at the end of week 10, we're now at the end of week 11, so I've got sort of about 11 weeks to go, or is it might even be 10 weeks to go, yikes, which is a little bit scary. And look, things are just going bloody not at all. This prep is really starting to beat me up because it's just not frigging working. I've got down to 61.5 kilos, and then I actually, flying always messes me up. So, I know it takes 2 days, having travelled internationally for competition stuff, I know it takes 2 days for my body to come back into where it should be after a flight. So, I got back from Sydney, and I'd had a lovely weekend with a friend who I was really helping with their diet. He's one of my most challenging clients, actually, which is really fun because he's gluten-free, dairy-free FODMAPs, and I'm also trying to boost his thyroid and testosterone levels at the same time. So from a diet perspective, it's been a huge challenge to actually because he just went, I've got no idea what I can eat anymore. And, of course, it's impact, when you don't know what you can eat, it really impacts your life. You can't sort of catch up with your friends and go out for meals and restaurants and stuff because you just don't know what you can eat. So I've come together with I've given him a food list of everything he can eat that just fits all of those criteria. I mean, it's just awesome. So I was really, really pleased. But so that was really great fun. I really didn't pay too much attention to sort of diet and things, but of course, given all of his issues, then the food we were eating was incredibly healthy. So I really didn't have to worry about it because, we definitely weren't going out for sort of burgers and chips and getting out on the piss and stuff because, of course, he couldn't eat any of that. So if anything, I was even more diligent with my diet over the weekend, so that was kind of cool. But anyway, I thought, well, when I get back, I'll just really, get back into my routine, settle down for a couple of days, because I know it takes 2 days for a flight to kick in. Anyway, so Wednesday, I thought I'd get on the scales, and I was feeling a little bit weird. I was just feeling really bloated and heavy, and I just had this really I just felt fat, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I got on the scales, and blow me down, I'm fucking 62 kilos, excuse the French, but I've put on half a kilo. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a complete nightmare. Like, it's taken 11 weeks and I've potentially lost 3 kilos. But no, I haven't lost 3 kilos, I've only lost 2.5. I've put half a kilo on in the space of about 5 days. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And I just don't get it. I just don't understand what is going on with my body. I know my body inside out, upside down and back to front, but this freaking menopause thing has just thrown everything I knew out of the window, and I just don't know what's going on. So now I've put on half a kilo, and I'm like, this is just ludicrous. So I'm really starting to get very confused because I just don't know what to do. I'm doing the sort of the cold therapy, and I'm cycling. I'm actually what I am doing is I'm now calorie cycling. So I have 2 days a week when I'm doing Lyle McDonald's rapid fat loss protocol, which basically is just protein and veggies. It's very, very sort of skinny. And then I have my refeed day. So there's a high. So I have two sort of really low calorie days. Then I have my two sort of normal. I have 2 days which is sort of about 1,500 calories. So the Lyle McDonald ones is basically you just set it up so that it's 2 grams of protein per pound. And then you just eat, very fibrous green vegetables and very little else. So those 2 days are about 1,350 calories. Then I have 2 days about my 1,500 calories, and then I have my refeed day, which goes up to about 2,000. So I'm calorie cycling. I'm doing the cold therapy thing as well. I'm eating all the foods to boost my thyroid and boost all of my estrogen and that kind of stuff. So, I've got all of this stuff going on. I'm cycling. I've got my cycling, and my workouts are now fully stacked with active rest. So I'm kind of doing like a 10-minute hit within each of my workouts. Although I took my weighted jacket to work to do the stairs, I actually haven't managed to do the stairs at all this week, which is a bit naughty. So I must get on to doing the stairs because like I said, I figured if stairs could doing lots of stairs could get 25 kilos off me in the space of 9 months, then they could sure as hell get 10 kilos off me in the space of 11 weeks. So, I'm doing everything right, and I'm really sort of trying all these new things, and it's just not bloody working. So I'm really, really confused. Anyway, I was probably a little bit emotional on Friday, and then blow me down if I didn't get a bloody period. I haven't had a cycle for 6 months. So, in fact, I've only had two periods in the last 12 months. So all of a sudden, even though I'm sort of doing all of this intense exercise, my calories are really super low. All of a sudden, my body's gone, I know, let's have a period. There we go. So of course, that half kilo was just water retention, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? How the hell have I all of a sudden had my period? I literally just don't understand what is going on with my body anymore. So it kind of has left me a little bit confused. This weekend I've just sort of kept it really tight. I'll get on the scales tomorrow and see because usually when you have your period you do drop any water weight if you're holding any water weight. So look, I'll get on the scales tomorrow and see where I'm at. But in terms of exercise, I'm really doing an awful lot. Even when I get to the gym now as well, usually before my trainer, I have 2 sessions with my trainer a week, and I do usually get there about half an hour earlier. So but I spend that time. I do at least 20 minutes of posing before I work with my trainer, and then I've also started just doing incline walking. So I'm actually doing plenty of extra work. So it's not my work. My work ethic is fine. My food is all fine. It's just that my body is really, really weird, and I really don't get it. But what's most frustrating, I suppose, is only having lost 3 kilos potentially in 11 weeks. If I've got 10 kilos to get off me, then I'm still looking at 30 weeks of prep. And that's on top of the 11 I've already done. So that means my prep this year is going to be 41 weeks, which is insane. So look, I just don't even know if I'm going to make September at the moment, and we're not even in April. How crazy is that? It looks like October's going to be a push. I might just be ready in time for Olympia in the middle of November at this rate. I mean, can you imagine 41 weeks of prep? I've never done a 41-week prep. I've never had to. Although I do long preps of sort of 20-odd weeks and stuff like that. That's usually plenty, and I usually come in sort of 2 or 3 weeks early, or even 4 weeks early. So I could probably just get away with a 16-week prep. But I'm potentially looking at a 41-week prep, which is just ludicrous. And I guess it's an indication that my body is just in a very strange place. I'm getting blood tests done in 4 weeks, so that's going to be interesting to see what's happened there. So I'm going to continue with all of the sort of the maca powder, the Brazil nuts, and the seaweed to boost thyroid, try and keep my metabolism up. And then I'm going to stick with the calorie cycling. So I'm going to sort of do 2 days low, two days mid, 1 day high, and then that gives me another 2 days. I've got to figure out what to do. So I think I'll go back to do it. So I'll probably do 4 mediums, 2 lows, and then my refeed. So that's what I'll do in terms of the calorie cycling. So that's where I'm at. I'm really hoping that I lose some fat this week, because otherwise I'm actually beginning to run out of ideas. I've got a lot of techniques up my sleeve, but I'm actually beginning to run out of ideas at the moment, and I'm not quite sure what to do next, but I'm just going to keep going with what I'm doing and see how we go next week. So there's this week's Roundup. I'm just going to lie here and enjoy the rest of the sun and for the rest of the afternoon, I think, and just chill out, because relaxing, of course, helps lower cortisol, which, of course, too much cortisol can prevent fat loss in it. So relaxing is very, very important. So take care. I will talk to you next week. Oh, I've got the photographs. I will talk to the photographs very shortly. All right, let's go through some photographs. So here's my front pose. And look, I'm actually quite pleased with this, despite that ridiculous weight gain or whatever it was. You can actually see a hint of obliques. So definitely leaned up through the middle there. and I do have some beginnings of some nice shapes for my shoulders. Let's just go to my back, and you can actually start seeing some definition here through my rear delts and my rhomboids. Waist is starting to look tidy, so that's really good. So look, there is progress. Like I say, ever such a hint of obliques, and again just a hint of obliques there. So look, despite the weight gain and despite the complete lack of fat loss, there does seem to be some progress. So as I said before, I'll continue going. I'll be with the calorie cycling this week, and then we'll see where we're at next week.